Welcome SBR Faithful, I'm Jordan Sharp. It is week 14 in the NFL, and that means it is crunch time for every single team with a playoff chance yet alive, and that means that every game is of the utmost importance. Some of the lines here opening up for week 14 are very intriguing, so let's take a look at them, starting with the Battle of the Beltway between the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Redskins. Now, that game opened up as a pick'em, but after the Redskins squeaked by on Monday night with a victory over the Giants, that line has now moved to -1 and even -2.5 in some instances, and it might grow even higher. However, this is going to be a rivalry game, whichever way you look at it, even though it is an AFC versus NFC opponent. I think that this line will probably settle around the 2 to 2.5 mark, which Head has already started to look at right now. The Chiefs are +5 against Cleveland this week in Cleveland, and that means that the Browns are the biggest favorite they have been this whole season, and for good reason. Now, the Browns the defense has been playing a lot better recently, and I like the upside of their offense with rookie Trent Richardson and Brandon Weeden leading the way. The Chiefs have all kinds of problems right now. While I don't expect the line to move too much, if it does move, I expect it will probably go up. The Titans are similarly +5 in Indianapolis this week, and the Colts are coming off a huge come-from-behind victory against the Detroit Lions in Week 13. The Titans got absolutely smashed by the Texans, and I think you might be able to see this line rise a little bit. However, the Titans are still a pretty good football team, so don't expect too much action on it going up, as I think it will probably stay right around the 5, maybe 5.5 to 6 mark. The Bears are on the road, -2.5 in Minnesota this week against the Vikings, and the Vikings still will probably be without Percy Harvin, and their offense has very much struggled since he has been out. Without him, their offense, besides the rushing attack of Adrian Peterson, they have not really been able to score the ball that well, and while the Bears have had their issues, they looked really good against the Seahawks despite the loss this week, so I expect this line to go up just a little bit before kickoff. The Falcons are a -3.5 road favorite in Carolina this week. The Panthers did play very well, but did they lose an emotional game to those same Chiefs that I just talked about this last week, while the Falcons had a great long week of rest after their Thursday night win. Now, I think the Falcons should be warranted here as favorites. However, the Panthers are sneaky here, and they play a lot better at home, so if the Falcons' defense doesn't come to play, Carolina could very well upset Atlanta in this one. The Eagles are +7 in Tampa Bay this week against the Bucs, and while the Eagles have already named Nick Foles as their starting quarterback, the Bucs have kind of been streaky as of late. They've been struggling a little bit after really looking very nice over the last 4 weeks or so. However, they've started to stumble just a little bit here recently. However, they should very well be at least a touchdown favorite in this game. The line could go down just a little bit, but I'm not betting anything on the Eagles right now considering all their injury concerns. The Rams are +3 underdogs in Buffalo this week to play the Bills, and this should be a pretty close game, and the line probably shouldn't move too much. The Rams did have a great overtime win against the 49ers. Almost was another tie. And the Bills this week, while they should be favorites, you might want to look at the Rams this week as a possible upset here on the road. I think you're going to see some action on the Rams. This line actually might shrink just a little bit before kickoff. The Saints are +5 underdogs in the New York Giants this week. And while I'm not sure what the books are doing here yet, I would say you probably need to lay off this line until you see some movement one way or the other, because this spread looks very, very, very suspicious. Like the books would love for you to take the 5 points against the Saints now, because the Giants, as they just have lost on Monday night, they're not looking too great right now, and they're kind of still slumping out of November. So even though I still think the Giants should be favored by at least this much, look for the Saints to gain a lot of points, to people taking points with them. Finally, Monday Night Football is the Houston Texans on the road in New England to face off against the Patriots, and the Patriots are -3.5 favorites here in this one. Now, this game should be full of excitement, probably one of the better Monday Night Football games of the season. I expect this line to stay right where it's at. I think you're going to see a pretty even split on this action, maybe even some disputes between the sharps, but don't expect the line to move too much. It's probably going to be a coin flip here at a very tough number of 3.5. That'll do it for me this week. Jeff Grant is on the blogs this week, so make sure you check in daily for his line movement blog updates. And until week 15, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been our line movement edition of The Sharp Pick.